Things, who, what, when, where, why, and how. A lead story with George Davis. Weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on CVMTV.
What have we started?
That is a definition of what I ordered versus what I got. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified of them, for it is the Lord your God. He goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. That's coming from Deuteronomy 31, verses 6 to 9.
Amen. You have moments where you're stepping out and you feel fear? Like, do you get those kinds of moments?
I absolutely do.
Yeah.
But that is for me, so 2 Timothy is my go-to in moments like those. So whenever I feel like my belly grip me and my nerves take me, I always feel my fear and my nerves in my stomach. And every time I feel that, I literally remember 2 Timothy and I say, for I've not been given a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind.
Nice.
That's my go-to.
Nice.
And I say it like a mantra until I feel myself,
Nice.
Yeah.
For me, I wouldn't say I don't feel that. I mean, I guess in a moment of fright or flight, you know, you have that. I have that. But like in moments, you know, like people, I don't take it for granted that, you know, when people come in and say, I'm really nervous. Because I don't get nervous like that. I think that, I don't have a lot of gifts, but that is my gift. Like in the moment,
you're composed.
just ice cold, ice cold. I'm like, all right, let's do this. Which is why, like, if I feel nervous in a moment, or if like people around me are nervous in a moment, I go to pieces. Like, I can't do the people who are nervous in the clutch moment. Like, if you're nervous,
you need somebody beside you who's composed.
Yeah, just go away, or just let me do this by myself. You know. TK, good morning, T. How are you doing?
TK.
Hi, Ellie. Hi. How are you? Hi, Dennis.
Hey. That's what I guess.
And with that, let's jump right into the headlines, shall we? First up, Mayor Swaby grapples with illegal dumping in Kingston. So pollution remains a pressing concern in Jamaica, particularly in Kingston, where newly appointed Mayor Andrew Swaby faces the daunting task of combating illegal dumping.
I definitely think, though, that it is something that, as a collective, we have to address.
Absolutely.
Our environment is so important, and believe it or not, I think we need to drill into the minds of our citizens how important civic pride is and how much of a difference it makes to your mindset when your environs are clean.
Yes.
And so I think each individual needs to have more of a sense of pride and just not dump the way we dump. I mean, it's so crazy. I have an 11-year-old who were driving along the road the other day, and she literally said to me, Mommy, can there not be bigger fines for dumping? Why is the place so messy? My 11-year-old said that, and I said to her, well, there are fines in place. I guess, I don't know if enforcement is the issue, but we just need more personal responsibility. I really feel like we do.
Meanwhile, just driving this morning to come here, I was behind someone, and they just threw about 2 or 3 plastic bottles out the window of the car. And that was
because they don't care. But
that was it.
You know,
but I feel like we should be able to, sorry Dennis, I feel like we should be able to record those moments and upload them somewhere so they can be identified and charged for littering. I really feel like we should be able to, almost like a citizen's arrest, but not literally an arrest, but a citizen's report then.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, one of the things that I love when environmentalists say is that we need to teach our children, and by extension society, that away is a place.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yes.
When you throw it away, it's somewhere named, so it's not like you're throwing it and it's nowhere now.
Right.
It's going to a place, and so whether it is you're dumping it in the gully, it's going to end up somewhere.
Correct.
And I think that the fact that people, I don't think it's I don't know if it's an enforcement issue, but one thing is for certain, it's not a consequence.
So we have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Ready? You have to stop.
No.
You have to stop.
You have to eat it, Yendi.
Dennis, you have to stop.
Yendi, I'm going to eat it,
Dennis,
Yendi. Give me a second there. Give me a second. And we have just by the basis of time alone, and we have ourselves a winner. But let's see in terms of taste, because Dennis, you can still, Dennis, you're not even putting a little one apple in it. You know what? Stop.
The flavor profile does not lend itself to the apple.
Dennis, you still
you had the apples and the whipped cream, you know?
Dennis,
Go ahead. No, the time is up, but continue. I mean, we have to finish. Go ahead. No, she win.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the winning tortilla, could you tell me about your tortilla, please, real quick?
Sure, I thought you'd never ask. So in this tortilla,
yes,
it's not a regular tortilla.
It's not, apparently.
This one has a bit of guacamole.
Okay.
It's a bit spicy with a kick. However, really kind to the waistline, let me tell you why. It's sardines, high in omega-3 fatty acids, excellent source of protein, and healthy fats from the avocado. My dear.
The winning tortilla, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to... Let's just see really quickly. What's happening?
I'm done loose already. What's going on? I'm looking after my breakfast.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the winning tortilla. High five, Yendi. Wow, the wave. Give them the wave.
World peace. May I think
we promised a trophy.
You did. I noticed you haven't tasted it yet.
And the trophy will be here. Ladies and gentlemen, the champion of the... champion of the competition.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much. Oh, it actually says breakfast right, champ.
Congratulations. And I'm just going to taste it just to see if it only look good. You know what I mean?
I want to thank all the sardines in the ocean for being so nutritious. I also want to thank T. Kizzle, my taste tester, who right now is absolutely satiated by the deliciousness presented to her. I would also like to thank my opponent, Dennis, who consistently loses. Life is better with you in it, because at least I finally can get to say I don't come second.
Get ready! The best ever international meet to be staged in Jamaica. The inaugural Jamaica Athletics Invitational, a World Continental Tour Silver with a star-studded cast of international and local stars. Saturday, May 11, 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at the National Stadium. Featuring the Olympic champion Hansel Parchment, former world champion Fred Curley, British record holder Zarnell Hughes, rising triple jump sensation Jaden Hibbert, Kyron McMaster, and Kristen Coleman, two-time world champion Danielle Williams, former world champion Dina Asher Smith, world record holder Toby Amusa, world championship medalist Shanika Ricketts, Marie-José Talou, St. Lucian Hot Shot, Julian Alfred, Nia Ali, Rochelle Clayton, Kemba Nelson, plus a surprise entertainment package never seen before in Jamaica.
Jamaica's favorite drama, Your Guilty Pleasure.
Listen to me, Izzy Trevor Madden. I don't want you to gamble with my life or the lives of our children.
Royal Palm Estate is on CVM every Tuesday and Sunday at 9 p.m.
It's a set of financial assets that is owned by you, the investor, that can be traded. You use it to earn a profit while you're preserving the value of the asset, because you really and truly want to get an income, you want to get some value from these things that you currently own, but you also want to preserve it because you don't want to lose it any at all. So that's really what a portfolio is, a set of these things that you all have put together. But what are financial assets? I just mentioned a set of financial assets. These are really non-physical assets. So things like your car is a physical asset. You can touch the car, you can touch the house, you can touch the piece of land. But these are non-physical assets. So things like your shares, you can't touch the shares, but you derive value from it based upon a contractual arrangement between yourself and the institution. Really and truly, that's what assigns value to something of that nature. Yeah, But the Yendi mentioned a term just now, a diversified portfolio. She has a very diverse portfolio. But what is this really and truly? A diverse portfolio is when you literally spread your investment, you spread your money across different asset classes. Yeah? Because you want to lower your risk, but you also want to increase your return. So you have determined in Jamaica, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
And diversification not only means on your portfolio, but in also the institutions that you currently save. You don't put all your money in one bank. You don't put all your money in one account. You don't put all your money in one area. So you spread it across. So similarly with your investment portfolio, you spread it across different classes. What are these classes though, Carlton, you want to find out? There are several classes, I'll just list a few right now. You have like your fixed income, which is like your bonds. And the term fixed income means that you get a fixed income from these investments. So something like a bond, you get like fixed return at set time during the particular year. So it's a fixed money coming in, hence the term fixed income, like bonds, for example. You have things like equities, and equities refer to things like stocks, meaning you're owning a piece of a particular company. You have equity in this company. That's an asset class. You have things like your cash or cash equivalent. So things that you can easily turn back into cash that you can just take out the money right away. So if you save into a regular savings account, that's a cash type of asset class, or a high yield interest account.
Italy, Lecce in particular, it's not as well known as the bigger cities like Rome or Milan, but it's actually considered the little Jamaica of Italy. So unsurprisingly, I was actually brought here in a roundabout way through my connection with music, but in a personal way for love. I actually fell in love with an Italian man, and we got married, and now I live here primarily in Italy, although I try to get to Jamaica as often as possible.
Awesome.
So a lot of people, when they think of Italy, they think the beautiful food, the scenes, they think of the eat, pray, love experience. Has that been your experience being in Lecce?
Anytime you're away from the anytime you're away from home, it comes with its challenges, of course. But Italy, like Jamaica, lives up to the hype. It really has been a beautiful experience. In terms, the culture really is about that. It's very family oriented. It's very food oriented. It's one of the things that made the transition easier mentally, or something I could consider. And it's in reality, yeah, it's very eat-pray love. It's a slower pace of life, and it's something that makes missing Jamaica less difficult.
To me, education is that bridge.
Yeah.
It takes you from one situation to the next, and if you are able to get quality education, you open the world, and it's like a doorway open up for you, and you're able to move yourself. I mean, my grandma said, education is the thing. If you put that in your head, no one can take that from you.
Right.
You can lose everything else. You can lose the money. You can lose everything, but nobody can take away your education. And I think that's what moves you.
How important is something like an education week? Why do we celebrate it?
It's pretty much for everybody to get it.
Yeah.
For everybody to get on board. Education it takes a village. My director, Donna, loves to say we have an invested village. And it means everybody has a part to play in the education and the mobility throughout education for our children. And that is why you highlight what's going on. You let people know, hey, there's an entity called National Education Trust. You want to give back to education? We help you. We make your life easy in giving back to make schools an environment, not just a place, but an environment.
I want to touch on that a little bit more, because you quite rightly mentioned everybody has a responsibility, everybody has a role. People don't realize how big the Ministry of Education is. It's a massive ministry with lots of agencies and departments. Help us to locate properly the National Education Trust within that entire matrix.
So I like to say that we beg and we build. Right? Those are two main areas. So we help donors, or we help persons who want to give back to education in one way or the other, whether it's cash, in-kind, time, all of that. There are a lot of persons that send things for their alma mater all the time, and we help them navigate that whole customs process. Because we're a registered charity, we actually access waivers for schools. So it's a structured way to give back. So that's on the begging side, you know. And we also do grants for specific projects. So there are things that the ministry may say are priority. Early childhood education, for example, getting school certified, training, capacity building. So we do grants, find persons, entities, seek funding.
Hi, I'm Wayne.
And I'm Tami.
And we are the Mitchells. You can watch Meet the Mitchells right here on CVMTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Yes, you guys don't want to miss it. We will be having new episodes every week, so definitely follow along with our family.
Meet the Mitchell family.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
You're the sugar to my tea. Meet the Mitchell family.
Our days get a little complex sometimes. Often so many things make sense, yet so many do not. We are being intentional about giving prominence to the big stories in order to clarify and enlighten. Lead Story explains who, what, when, where, why, and how. Lead Story with George Davis, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on CVMTV.
So the question asked is from a teacher on behalf of a student, and it says, my 13-year-old student, B, confided in me that she doesn't feel safe at home due to frequent arguments and physical altercations between her parents. She expressed fear for her own safety and asked for help. How can the legal system protect children like B who are experiencing domestic violence or unsafe environments at home? What are the rights of children in such situations, and what legal avenues are available to ensure their safety and well-being?
All right.
That's a big
interesting
one.
scenario.
Yeah.
And for the record, we have been sure to, obscure the person's name, so we're not using any real names. So the graphic that you see on there, that's not an actual name of the person. So first of all, let's kind of get an idea of where the law is, what laws our actions would be grounded in to begin with.
All right, so thank you, Dennis. So where the law is currently, or where action is in relation to your question, we'd be looking at the Child Care and Protection Act, which is very important and one of the more salient legislations right now concerning children, but also the Domestic Violence Act, which is very important as well in a case like this. Once you are experiencing domestic violence, then the legislation would take precedence. There are several legislations, as you may know, that deals with the protection or the rights of children and the interest thereof. So as I've spoken about the Child Care and Protection Act, I'm going to speak specifically to the Domestic Violence Act in relation to the question at hand. You will, at first, I must congratulate that teacher, because what happens is that it is clear that that student feels comfortable enough and to be more vulnerable to express what is happening in their home.
Right there. So you've got, okay, so we wanted to actually talk about the men and the women, because remember teachers,
male teachers
are both,
Really?
yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. Aren't you a teacher too?
Not so much these days, but yes, a once a teacher, always a teacher. Yes.
Okay,
But
right.
I tell you, the men suffer in silence.
No, well, not this Teacher's Day.
Okay.
So we chose some things that can go for both, right? But the socks we want for the men, we're really choosing that for the men. Now, you've got soaps, different scents. You also have the massaging type soaps, because,
that's nice.
everybody needs a little de-stressing and pampering.
Yes.
They're dealing with our kids all day. It's the least we can think of and
Absolutely.
do, right?
Agreed.
Then we have wall hangings and different displays. This is a church. This is an angel. Because, a lot of our teachers are religious, or maybe not, but they like something pretty for their home.
Yes.
Right? And then there's some teas, immune boosting tea. And
Need it.
Because
They
those
need it.
classrooms are like little petri dishes.
they really are. And we've got some candle options.
Nice.
This I thought was really, really cool. It is a plant you actually water it and it turns into a plant. The seeds are in there and everything. Like it's a whole little, it's like
very
ready,
cool.
right?
That is something nice for your desk in the faculty room.
Yes, and you can watch it grow. You can probably even share it with your students if you'd like. A little wallet, you know, some skincare. And this, I thought this was so novelty. This is a notebook, right? Every teacher needs something to write in, but it comes with a page marker or a bookmark, right? And at Locale, they have the matching wrapping paper, and they have a few different prints. So you can have it wrapped nicely. Everybody will think the best of it. You also have water bottles. This one says nourish your mind. So, you know, it's just very, very mind nourishing.
Let them know that this is a journey that you yourself would have gone through. And so there's nothing to get all worked up about. Even though I say a little stress is good. Because then it pushes you to work hard at what you're doing.
They develop grit.
That is very good. So a little stress is very good. And so that's the first thing you want to let them know. It is a journey you go through. And it is actually just a journey. It's not the destination.
Indeed. You know, in high school, the students at all levels are going through, you know, you have end of year exams, you have mock exams, you have the actual, then you have, of course, in fifth form, you have the actual CSEC.
And sixth form.
And in sixth form, it just feels like one continuous thing with IAs and exams. I mean, how do you, for everybody at their level, it's the most exam stress that they've ever experienced. How do you manage them at each stage?
All right, so gradually, the first thing you have to do, in order for you to be ready for exams, because you're at school and you know that you will be tested one way or the other, whether it be an oral examination, whether it be in writing, you will be tested. And so you want them to understand that this is something that you're working towards. Now, what's the first thing? Preparation. You must prepare. You have to spend time listening, paying attention in class, doing your homework, doing what is required of you, right? And then that's the first thing that you'll have to do. Secondly, I'll always say to them, take it easy. Don't get worked up about it. Take it easy, go slowly. Create ways, find ways to relax yourself. So you like to dance, go ahead and dance. While you're even studying, make up some nice little moves with your what you would call it, the pointers that you need to remember. You like to sing, then do a song, no man.
The brain has 10 parts. Come now with the cerebral.
So again, and you just do that kind of thing, right? So that is very important. So just be relaxed, because it is what it is that you have to do. Secondly, don't forget your friends and your family.
The race has begun, I've traveled the seas, I've traveled the waters. Once I was weak, now I'm much stronger. I've worked in the sun, look what I've become. I've conquered the beast, now I'm much greater. I've learned from a failure. Dedication, discipline and drive, seizing every moment that comes up in this life.
Thanks for staying with us. So, you know, time flies when good things are happening, and the best conversations only ever happen in the break. I swear, you don't get the real fun part of the conversation. We just don't have enough time. But you know what time it is? It's time for final thoughts. So the question was posed about having, you know, what are the new thoughts and the new concepts, the new subjects that we're talking about. But I guess the real final thought is for the education reform to really take hold, what are the steps in your minds individual that you need to do to get it to the place that you want to see it at? Whether it's education system or even a larger society. Gianna.
No, don't start with me.
You don't want to start with me?
No, because
Why?
I'm still thinking about that.
Okay, I like that. Let's start with our guest then.
Well, I think the transformation of education will take time. What needs to happen, your stakeholders have to buy into that change process. There will be significant capacity building required because you have a curriculum. STEAM is a big part of the curriculum, but how it's taught and integrated in this school is different at that school. So how do we get all persons at a level that it is effective. And then it's really just providing students with an opportunity and a platform for them to do the things that they are capable of. Because trust me, I was at that challenge last week, and the things that they created as part of this STEAM challenge, is amazing. So they have the capacity. It is the exposure and the opportunity. So it's to give them that.
Love it.
I think as society continues to modernize, the education system must modernize and transform. A part of that modernization needs to be the continued digitization of the education system. We saw during COVID that forced a lot of schools to, but what it showed us is that in the right circumstances, we can shift, pivot, as we were saying at the time, very quickly, and we are a very resilient society. I think we need to keep moving in that direction. We're moving, we talk about blue economy, we talk about the e-commerce and all of that. We need to shift our education system to preparing our children for that kind of a society and to make them more digitally resilient so that they can operate and be functional in the society in which we live, because that's what education is about.
So I think in order to transform, we need more courses that we use in real life. So how to start a business, how to do your taxes, those sort of things. I think, and Dennis asked me during the break, but when? And I think as early as possible, because there's no reason why they can't choose that for their life. If it is that they want to start a business, I don't see why we have to wait until we're 18 or so, maybe for some legal things, but you can always get a parent on there. So I think like the practicing of what we're going to end up doing, because...
But when do you teach them?
You teach them
you
from...
You have to go take out some of the old things that are in the system. That's where you were going.
Yes. Some old things have to go. Some of them are not relevant in today's society anymore.
I want to ask you which ones, because we don't want to start a fight about the conversation. But I love it. I love it, though. I love it. And I think, just to wrap up real quick, 2 thoughts. So, the brightest man in the world is a baby just born. He's a blank slate that can learn any language, any concept, any thought. So let's not diminish or limit ourselves in a way that we don't see the opportunities. Let's teach our kids everything they need, and the education must reflect the society or lead the society. One of the two. It can't be behind. And for me, the final thought I'll say is assessment over examination anytime. We don't need to pressure kids. We need to start looking at things in a more broad spectrum, to not worry too much about this thing of exams to move on. But those are the little concepts that we all need to start preaching within our homes, that we can feed it into our education system and the wider society. But that's a wrap for today, guys. The roundtable has been fun, and I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your Monday, enjoy the rest of your week, be as productive as you can, and as you go forward into the world, remember, be good and be on purpose. Bye, guys.